for you this lesson from Unity of the Keys Spiritual Center. So this morning, we're returning to the center, the 5 steps of Unity prayer. So we're not pursuing this morning dogma or doctrine, but we are returning to that deep, universal spirituality that lives within all people. For Unity teaches something beautifully simple and profoundly transformative, that every person carries within them an inner sanctuary of peace, wisdom, and divine presence. And our work, your work, my work, our joy is to learn to turn to that, to access it, and to live from that space. So today's lesson is built around the Unity 5-step prayer process, a spiritual practice designed to awaken us to the truth that we already live and breathe within the very presence, the very essence of the divine. I say this fully accepting that there is no one right and perfect, only way to pray. All forms of prayer are relevant. All ways of praying are expressions of our innermost feelings. There is no wrong way to pray. There is no wrong way to approach our ever-present connection with the divine. Now, the German priest, mystic, theologian from the 1300s, Meister Eckhart, is known for having said, "If the only prayer you ever say in your life is thank you, it is enough." Now, in Unity, we do attempt to move away from prayers of supplication, begging, pleading, negotiating with God, or holding God as a separate entity that gives and takes with reason or randomly. We recognize also that when there are times of great pain and loss, those thoughts may come to us. It is not wrong. It is a reflection of a wounded heart in the moment. And even if the words feel crushingly insufficient, they are where we are at that moment. Even if we are begging or negotiating, what we know in our heart is a deeper understanding of God. At the very least, we are opening our hearts to connect with the divine. We are remembering that we have the ability, the option, the choice to bring an awareness of God into a situation. And we choose to do that with prayer, with every form of prayer. And we will, once we find our footing again, we will remember the divine presence within us and within every situation. And we will move into a more calming and more loving conversation and not be ashamed or embarrassed about how we pray when we are hurting. Remember, we are human and divine, and we will stumble, and we will return to the awareness of our Christ within. We will remember that divine life, divine love, universal truths reside within us. So there are 5 steps to Unity prayer: relaxation, concentration, meditation, realization, and thanksgiving. And we will explore each of these steps as a doorway into a deeper awareness of spirit and a deeper awareness of who we truly are in that human and divine connection. So let us begin with relaxation. Relaxation as a gateway to inner stillness. So relaxation is more than slowing down the body. It is a spiritual letting go. It's a gentle loosening of our grip on life, on fear, on tension, and the belief that we must achieve everything. We must do it all alone. Now, most of us move through life fairly tightly wound, physically and mentally. Consider how often we hold our breath without even noticing. How often we brace ourselves against some imagined pressures, and how quickly we rush from one obligation to the next. This constant tension is not natural. It is learned, and anything learned can be unlearned. Relaxation in the unity prayer practice invites us to consciously release that surface chatter and to move into a greater awareness, to allow that to arise as we relax. It is as if Spirit is whispering to us, let go. You do not need to hold the world together. Your work is to be still, to be in the moment. Now, this is not passive. It is absolutely courageous. It is the courage to trust that deeper current of life that flows beneath our consciousness, beneath that chatter, beneath our anxieties, just below our thoughts. Try imagining your inner being as a lake. Okay, see the surface of that lake. When it's agitated, you can't see what lies beneath the surface. But when it becomes calm, then clarity appears. That is the power of relaxation. The second step is called concentration. And this is the intentional gathering of the mind's scattered energies into a single uplifted focus. Now, we all know what a distracted mind feels like. It leaps from the past to the future, from regret to worry, rarely resting in the present moment. Well, concentration gently invites the mind home. Concentration gently invites the mind home to the right here and the right now. It does not mean overfocus. It means gently pulling those disjointed thoughts together. In unity prayer, concentration often involves focusing on a sacred idea such as peace, love, or wholeness. It is like gently gazing at a candle flame that's steady and quiet and open, being fully present to the here and now. Think of concentration as clearing a space within yourself where spirit can be heard. When we concentrate on a spiritual idea or an affirmation, a positive thought, we raise the frequency of our mind and make it more receptive to inner wisdom. So this step reminds us that we are not trying to force an outcome or wrestle with our thoughts. We are simply directing our awareness towards the divine qualities that are already present within us. Concentration is the movement from the distractions of our world out here, inwardly, to intention. It is choosing in this moment to dwell in the presence of spirit rather than in the noise of the world. Now, the third step is meditation. This is entering the stillness of the divine presence. Once the mind is relaxed and focused, meditation naturally arises. Now, in the Unity tradition, meditation is not about emptying the mind or achieving some extraordinary mystical state. It is simply resting in the awareness that you live in divine presence, and divine presence lives in you. In this stillness, we do not strive. We allow. We allow. We allow ourselves to simply be. We allow wisdom to unfold. Meditation is that quiet meeting of our human awareness with our divine nature. Now, some describe this moment as sinking gently into the heart. Others describe it as a widening space within them. Some experience a gentle warmth or a softening or an intuitive knowing. Whatever form it takes, meditation is the place where the awareness of communion happens. It is that wordless conversation between the soul and the infinite. Meditation teaches us that spiritual guidance is revealed when we create the inner stillness to hear it. This step also reminds us that we are not separated from the divine by distance, by worthiness, or belief. The divine is always here, always present, loving, patient, and vibrantly alive. Meditation simply lets us notice what is true and has always been true, that the divine is with us. Now, the fourth step is called realization. Realization, the moment of inner awareness when truth becomes personal. It's that spiritual aha moment when we recognize in our heart that we are expressions of divine life, just as we are. Realization is a shift in consciousness where the truth becomes known. It might come to you as, I am held in love. That might be your realization. Or, peace is mine now. The guidance I seek is already forming in me. I am whole. I am capable. Life is unfolding for my highest good. I am the essence of love. Realization is a spiritual remembering. It is a recognition that everything we seek outwardly already exists inwardly. That is the heart of the Unity message, that the divine presence expresses through us as wisdom, strength, compassion, and creativity through every one of us. And when we touch this truth, even for a moment, something profound shifts within us. Our sense of identity expands and clarity deepens. In realization, prayer becomes more than words. It becomes a knowing. And we begin to see ourselves not as isolated individuals trying to make things happen, but as true co-creators aligned with the gentle yet powerful current of spirit. And then the fifth and last step in Unity prayer is thanksgiving. It is living in gratitude. Thanksgiving seals the prayer by anchoring us in gratitude. Now, this is not gratitude for a specific outcome, but for spiritual truth. This is gratitude for the experience. Gratitude that we are connected to the source that is always present, always guiding, and always supporting our highest good. Thanksgiving and Unity prayer is a celebration of our relationship with Spirit. It acknowledges that the moment we turn inwardly, We are already answered. Not necessarily with the solution we imagine, but with guidance, with peace, with clarity, and with strength. This gratitude shifts our consciousness. When we close our prayer with thanksgiving, we are affirming wisdom is at work. I am supported in ways that I may not yet see. I am open, receptive, and grateful. Gratitude lifts our energy, it opens our hearts, and prepares us to re-enter our daily lives with a greater grace and awareness. Prayer changes us. Prayer grounds us. So the 5 steps of unity prayer really describe a way of living. Relaxation, inviting us to release what no longer serves us. Concentration directs our awareness towards what is spiritually true. Meditation, deepening our awareness of connection with the divine. Realization, awakening the truth within us, becoming aware of the divine truth. And finally, thanksgiving, opening our hearts in joyful trust, allowing us to release the prayer for its divine unfoldment. And we're no longer attached to the prayer or to the specific outcomes. Through faith, we release it. And when lived daily, this process transforms how we approach challenges, relationships, problems, concerns, and our sense of purpose. This process becomes a path of spiritual alignment, a way of remembering that we are never separate from the source of all that is, from peace, strength, and love. The spiritual tool we take home with us today is a reminder of these simple practices. Begin the morning with 1 minute of relaxed breathing. Choose one spiritual idea, one affirmation, peace, love, compassion, and gently focus on it during concentration. Spend a few moments in silent meditation, simply resting in the awareness of your connection with the divine. Allow any realization to surface naturally and in its own time. And end with gratitude. Always end with gratitude. So throughout the week, notice how often your mind races or your body tenses. And when it does, return to one or more of these steps. Even a moment of inner alignment can shift your entire day. It shifts your entire being. The 5 steps become not only a prayer practice, but a life practice, a way of remembering who you are and that you are never walking this path alone. The unity prayer process reminds us that spirituality is about reaching inward. The divine is closer than breath, more intimate than thought. Each step of the process invites you to return to the inner temple, the sanctuary of your own soul, where wisdom and love and guidance patiently await your arrival. You are not asked to believe anything. You are invited to experience everything. This is the spiritual path of openness, of remembering. As I close this lesson, may you carry these steps as companions, as gentle reminders that you are always held, always guided, always connected to the presence of Spirit. And in that presence, all is well. And so it is. And so it is.